The following video displays scenes of graphic, violent content. Viewer discretion is advised.
And it's terror time again. They've got you running through the night. Yes, it's terror time again. Oh, you just might die of fright. It's a terrifying time.
So I saw Terrifier, and it was a movie, I think. It's on Netflix, it has moving pictures, and I watched it with my eyes, so I guess it has to be a movie. Those of you who are into the horror scene are probably aware of this film simply because it features Art the Clown, a character who's becoming shockingly popular in a small community of horror fans. Art's been featured in 2 short films and 2 feature-length films. Before we continue talking about Art and the films he's been in, I feel like talking about the man who created him. The Toucan Sam son of a bitch himself, Damien Leone. Leone is a special effects makeup artist who primarily worked on smaller indie films that you've probably never heard of. After years of working in the industry, Leone decided that he wanted to make a horror film. So in 2009, he graced us with The Ninth Circle, a short film about demonic sacrifice, Satan, stuff like that. And oh hey, there's a clown here too, ain't that interesting? According to Leone, reactions to the film amongst his peers was positive, with most people taking interest in the clown demon seen in the beginning of the film. Yeah, apparently the goofy-looking demons didn't do anything for anyone, but hey, the clown's creepy. Well, Leone took that to heart, and 2 years later he came out with another short film titled Terrifier, which is simply the clown stalking a girl, killing her, I think, more like hacking off all of her limbs and her breasts and writing derogatory terms all over her body. Why? This wouldn't be the last time Art made us known of his presence, as in 2013, Damien Leone gave us the godfather of horror films, All Hallows Eve. A shallow anthology made using Leone's old short films with some new original footage. All Hallows Eve actually got kind of popular within a small fraction of the horror community. Horror websites like Fangoria and Bloody Disgusting wrote articles about it. Art was starting to get really popular with a lot of people. So what now? Well, Leone did the only logical thing anyone in his shoes would do.
Hey guys, this is Damien Leone, director of All Hallows Eve and creator of Art the Clown. As you can see, this character has a rapidly growing fan base and the potential to become the next big horror icon. Although Art clearly stole the show in All Hallows Eve, he was only featured in the film for a measly 30-minute segment. Imagine what it'd be like to see him in an entire movie.
In 2015, Damien Leone created an Indiegogo to help bring his new film to life. The film, titled Terrifier. The film is kind of notable because it was partly crowdfunded and it actually came out. Granted, I think it came out bad, but we'll get to that in a second. Before we actually dissect the mess that is Terrifier, let me quickly say one thing. One thing I really appreciate about all of this is Leone's pure passion for the character. A lot of horror films are made just to quickly cash in on a trend or something, but Leone really just wanted to make the movie he envisioned, and even though him and I find different things scary, I can say that even if I hate the films, I don't hate Leone. Hell, the dude wanted to make a horror movie, and he did. With that being said, let's dive deep into Terrifier and see how it fails as a horror film in nearly every way. The opening of the film already does something that irks me. It's simply a news interview with some girl who had an encounter with Art, and her face is all disfigured because of it. As she's talking, we see a montage of Art putting on makeup and getting ready for the day. Art breaks the TV, showing some obvious anger towards the newscaster. After the title screen, it cuts to her in her changing room. Okay, so the obvious assumption here is that Art will somehow appear in her room and kill her, thus giving us our first kill of the movie. But no, it's the disfigured girl she interviewed. She comes out and kills her. Why? Not only does this not make a lot of sense, it messes with the conventions of the first kill. The first kill in a horror movie is supposed to mean something, it's supposed to make a statement. The 2 best opening kills ever are from Halloween and An American Werewolf in London. Both of these films not only show the ruthlessness of their main antagonist, but also do it in a shocking way that sticks with us. Halloween features a little boy violently stabbing his sister for no reason. An American Werewolf kills off an important character in the first part of the movie with some amazing cinematography. Some of you might be thinking, this isn't a big deal, why am I going on about this? But it is a big deal. They simply talk about how Art the Clown kills people, but they don't actually show it. Instead, it's this random girl who commits the first kill. And to add insult to injury, the first kill is the best kill in the entire film. The best kill in this slasher movie wasn't even committed by our main slasher. But okay, let's talk about something positive to balance out that negative. The special effects in this film, with this scene in particular, are really good, and it definitely runs home the fact that Leone got his start with special effects. From here on out, the movie gets super uninteresting. It's just these two girls walking around on Halloween night, and yeah, there's a clown. Now, I know what some of you are going to say. What's the difference between a movie like this and a movie like Halloween? After all, they both have girls walking around with a killer stalking them. Well, the difference between Halloween and Terrifier is a little thing called subtlety. Michael Myers is a scary dude. He's always watching, but hell, you probably wouldn't even be able to tell he's actually doing it. On top of Myers' subtle stalking is the characters in the film. The dialogue in Halloween feels natural and realistic, thus the characters feel natural and realistic. The characters in Terrifier talk like characters in horror movies.
Look at your boyfriend. Are you okay?
I think we should get our food to go.
Why?
Like the worst possible dialogue you can think from a trashy 2000s horror film. Honestly, that seems like the best way to describe this movie. Early 2000s trash. You know how Saw, Hostel, and other gory shock films back then were in their prime? Terrifier feels like it belongs in that era of horror. Come on, people, we're supposed to be past this. Why does it feel like Hollywood is trying to take us back to this ugly era nobody likes to remember? So the clown does some stuff in a pizza shop, like smear his shit on the walls of the bathroom, which is gross and nasty, but apparently a staple of the character, as it was something he also did in the short film named Terrifier.
Think you just piss all over the place and smear your shit on the walls?
One cool kill later, and things are getting boring. Our main character's car is broken down, and she has to go to the bathroom. Whatever is she gonna do? So she goes into an abandoned apartment complex. Then the clown shows up, and then chases ensue. No joke, the first time I watched this, I actually skipped through a lot of the scenes in the complex. The clown chasing the girl is just so uninteresting, and it really doesn't help that I'm not scared of the clown. So Art kidnaps the main character and takes her to this weird fetish dungeon thing, where he displays the girl's best friend and kills her in a way I can only describe as fetishy. Like, she's half naked and hung upside down. She's sawed in half. It's weird. Now maybe I'm just being a sensitive pussy, but this kill comes off as trashy and gross more than cool. But man, the way it's filmed and everything, it just comes off as super creepy, fetishy to me. It doesn't gross me out in an effective horror way. It grosses me out in a, ew, that's weird kind of way. Is it just me? Have I lost my edge? Am I not hip with the kids anymore? Girl escapes, and now the clown is chasing our final girl. And our final girl's sister shows up to help. The clown pulls out a Glock and just fucking kills our main character. Look, okay, killers in horror movies like this shouldn't use guns. It's just, the idea of getting shot in the head with a gun is way less scary than the idea of getting stabbed in the head with a knife. Chucky is the exception because he's a goofball. Hell, even that time Michael Myers used a gun, he just ended up stabbing somebody with it. So our main character is dead. It feels like Leone was trying to subvert our expectations with the concept of the final girl, but he failed miserably. So now our main character's sister is the main character. I'll just call her sister because she was only in 2 short scenes prior to showing up to the complex. So she's running from the clown, and then this happens. There was this creepy cat lady who showed up earlier, and now she's holding Art like the son she never had, and he's letting her do it. But why though? I don't get it. Like, yeah, he eventually kills her, but the scene is so awkward and feels so out of place. So, like, sister runs from the clown, somebody manages to call the police, clown, like, fucks her face up and hits her with a car. See how I'm describing this movie? Everything that happens just happens with no real flow. You just move from one scene to the next, and it just keeps on going like that. Anyway, the cops show up, and instead of immediately shooting him after he doesn't put both his hands up, they watch him reach down to his sock. Look, we all know in real life those cops would have shot him if he didn't immediately put both his hands up. They see him reaching down for something, they would have shot him. Art pulls out a gun and shoots himself, killing himself. We're taken to a morgue where the dead bodies are, including Art's body. Lights flicker and shit goes crazy, but once everything's back to normal, BAM! Art's back! Didn't see that coming. It cuts to Sister, sitting in a wheelchair, talking to her doctor. Her doctor says,
Oh, and good luck with your interview tomorrow.
and holy shit, the movie pulled a Tarantino. The end of the film actually leads into the beginning of the movie. Holy shit.
They played us like a damn fiddle!
Ugh, talk about bad writing. Like he really had no idea how to end it. But hey, it has a better ending than the short film. Man, oh man, this was a movie. It fails as a horror movie in nearly every way. It's not scary, it's too dumb to be taken seriously, but the movie at the same time also demands that you take it seriously. Art the Clown is not a scary villain. He tries too hard to be scary. Tim Curry Pennywise in the 90s It series is amazing, but once he shows those sharp teeth, once he tries to be scary, that's when he is the least scary. It's as basic and by the numbers as you can get with a horror movie. Damien, look, I know you want to make Art like this icon of horror, but man, if you don't put in the effort to make a good movie, then I don't see anything in the future for Art other than maybe 1 or 2 sequels. Anyways, everybody, have a happy Halloween. Please, don't subject yourself to horror films like this. Watch something good this Halloween, like Trick or Treat or Halloween 3. Have a happy Halloween, everybody.
It's almost time, kids. The clock is ticking.